Yes, if I'm not mistaken, we are live.
Indeed.
Perfect. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are. Welcome back to the L1X AMA. I think it's been like more than 2 weeks now, right? Since we had the last AMA. So yeah, of course, all familiar faces here, right? So no one is new. Anyways, in this AMA, what we'll do is, we'll dive in straight to the questions, right? We'll answer all your questions first. And then later on, I'll hand it over to Sandra. She'll go through the NFT tiering system and more details about it. Yeah. Okay. Before that, Sandra, Mike, or Leo, anything you guys want to say? Or
From my side, I think I'll probably go through it a little bit after, and I know there's a couple of questions in there around the work that we're doing with some of the projects. And I know that we've made some fantastic progress there with the devs, Kevin, and also I've been working closely with the teams, actually multiple teams that are looking after the DEX side. So we've got a bit of a few updates to pass across there. So looking forward to that.
Okay. All right, then I'll kick it off with the first one. So I've got it all over here. I made some notes as well, so I don't miss anything. So the first question is by Chaos77. I think there are a couple of questions. Why is there no update about the hackathon? Is it cancelled? Or if it's still in progress, what is actually going on? Okay, or who are the participants? So the hackathon currently is in the second phase, as you already know. We have 4 projects, which are Block, Blend, Valhalla Wallet, Cupia Security, and Sinosure. Apart from these projects, there are other projects which we are closely working with, and the projects that we work with are divided into 3 different parts. One is self-sustained projects that they are building, by themselves. They don't need any help from us. The other type of projects are the ones that they need a little bit of help here and there. And the third one, which is, we are working very closely with them. We handle a lot of the development work for them as well. So there are these 4 projects, and it's already listed on the hackathon page as well. So if you go to the hackathon page, or Leonel, if you can drop that link in the chat, these are projects already listed over there. In terms of the overall application phase, I kind of think that I've been speaking to a lot of people as well. The development of applications all over the Web3 space has actually reduced, right? And I think that's good, because it's giving pathway to like deep utility projects, right? Now, of course, we have the projects that we are working with, and they are releasing this month one after the other. But over a period of time, we will see that the strategy that we picked of quality over quantity will actually be worthy of it. Okay, moving on. The ecosystems grant pool page shows gibberish. Yes, I noticed that before the AMA. Thank you to point that out. I have already asked the team to take care of it. Which service-based companies have you partnered with to accelerate the development on L1X? Okay, so in terms of the core development, we have developers in-house who work for the foundation. But in terms of L1X app, it can be the DEX systems, it can be the marketplace, or any other project. We work primarily with 3 different companies: BloxOne, BlockchainX, and now we have also partnered up with Solar Minter Labs. So these are the same guys who are building with us, and they have an in-house development team as well, where any NFT project or token builder project coming up can be diverted towards them. When will the next audit report be available? When are you planning to get all parts of the blockchain code, including XTOC, to be audited? Okay, so in terms of the auditing, the consensus code is going to be audited by the end of this month. So the code will be given to them. And of course, after they take their time and they come back with certain things, we will make changes to that and we'll make it open sourced. So it's all on track. For October, we are going to release out all the code and make it open source. including XTOC. So after the consensus, the XTOC goes into pipeline. Okay. Can you include the following information in the block explorer? Circulating supply, total vested tokens, total tokens, top 50 holder. Yes, we will include that into the explorer. But I will go through the tokenomics part a little later. At the moment, we are currently working on contract level work. So if you go to Etherscan or Binance Scanner, you can see the contract creation code, the contract deployment code, or even interact with the contract, see what functions are available in a certain piece of contract. We are currently working on that. So after we finish that, we will pick up all the other pieces as well. Can we, as investors, ask to see a financial report about raised funds and its expenditure? Yes. So at the moment, we are finalizing the tax report with the Swiss authorities, and I am going to do a deep dive into the tokenomics. So we have changed a few things about tokenomics, and I'll talk about it a bit later. But while I do the tokenomics, I'll also explain the funds that were raised during every phase and where it was spent, on what it was spent. So it makes complete sense. I'll do an hour session just on that. Since public sale wasn't filled 100% and other things happened, I'm sure tokenomics has changed. Can we see the revised tokenomics? Yes, I think the same thing as I mentioned. I will go through it in depth on the tokenomics part. There was another question over here, which is what has the growth pool, which is 40% of the total supply, been used for? Yes, that's a good one. So the growth pool includes expert bonus. It includes all the rewards, which are the airdrops, daily winners, KOLs, even the marketing that we did previously. And it also includes the L1X coins that are being given out to the projects for the grant program. So all these include the growth pool. The next one is by Mr. Jason. The next two. The Australian Crypto Convention 23-24 November. Okay, Sydney, will the team be attending that? We have not decided on it, but we have taken a holistic co-marketing approach with the projects that we are currently working on. So even if we do decide, we'll make sure that at least some of our projects come along with us to demonstrate the utility along with the protocol there. But if we do make a decision to go, we will let you guys know about it. How far away we are from L1X app on mobile devices? So L1X app right now is focused only on the desktop. Most of the developer resources that we have is either focusing on making sure that the core is stable, and the other developers are focused on making sure that the projects get the right development support, because that's where transactions, that's where utility is going to be demonstrated, right? That's where the people are going to come in and find utility within the protocol. So that's where we are focusing on right now. It is not going to happen until the end of the year, that's for sure, because we already have a long pipeline. But if we do see a big push coming towards it, we will take it maybe early next year. Okay, so this is by Gojox. This is a pretty big question. Okay. So my concern is that even with great tech like ours, a dream next-gen interoperable chain, I completely agree. We still need a lot of investors and hype to get us off the ground. There are rival chains and they are all trying to achieve the same goals. Yeah, as us. Even so, XLR, the chain DIGA chose over us, and they're claiming they have also custom VM, whatever it is, I don't know. But he said one flaw that they have is the same with most VC-backed projects. They are very greedy with valuations and have a very low float to show a low circulating market cap while hiding the fact of high FDV. Yeah, that will definitely come down in the later down the road. Yes. So why do we use the same crappy model that VCs routinely use? I thought this project was that one that gave big opportunities to the little guy. And also he mentions about would any major changes be considered? Like team getting 22% is okay, but shouldn't we be giving out 20-30% to the people, like projects like Ethereum and BNB gave away? Okay, so I've written a note over here for this because this is a very this is going to touch upon a lot of things in the coming answers. Just to be clear, we haven't distributed anything from the advisory pool as of yet, because Gojox does mention that majority of the tokens are in the growth pool, which probably stands at 33% of the total distribution as of today. So all the coins that are gone out, 33% of that are still in the growth pool, right? By the end of the year, there will be around 43 million coins that will be out now in circulation, out of which 30% or 30 million coins will be going into externally owned accounts, meaning these are the coins that people will get, they will trade, right? It does take a dip to 25% to total distribution by same time next year, meaning from the number of coins that are actually out there in the circulating supply, the people holding the coins will be around 25%, right? Externally owned accounts. Now, the fact of the matter is that one thing that we have to understand as the community as well is that there are two ways to go about this. The first one is we do have a lot of coins that were given out for free, right? From $0, that is the stop loss price. Now, what those numbers are, I'll go through in the Tokenomics AMA, but it's a huge number. So what we are currently working on is I am trying to firm up certain investor group that's going to go and buy the coins all the way from 0 until 10 cents. Meaning we need to, remove all these guys out that got the coins at $0 until 10 cents, taking the coin back to 10 cents. Now, this is one strategy where the people who are going to soak it up are going to work with us closely so that we can raise money from the VCs at a higher level. But the idea here is not to give away a lot of it, right? That is one idea, one strategy after we take it to 10 cents. The other one is going back to the people. But I believe that in order to, not give away a lot after the price is raised, going to a VC and raising this fund for the growth phase is what we require, right? If we had gone out before, we would have been giving out more than 10, 15, 20%, right? But now we don't have to give out that kind of money. And along with that comes vesting. So definitely, I think in the coming time, all the money from or all the coins from the growth pool will definitely be devised towards sending it out to the people, right, in some way or the other. But at this particular moment, we are in the phase where 30 million out of 43 million by the end of the year is going to be with the people anyways, right? So that's a good number. That's about 50%. But in the coming time, to make sure that the growth phase is there, the price increases, getting the VCs on board for a certain time, I think is unavoidable, and we will have to do that. Gojox, I hope this answers your question. We wouldn't have faced such backlash from competition if we had a lot of the supply because so little is shared to us. Okay. I think this one is almost the same as the one before. So I'll just move on to the next one. Let me know if you want me to go through it, but I'll move on. How many of the unused nodes, this is by Dambox, how many of the unused nodes were sent back of the queue for slots 1 to 3? If I would have seen that, it should be around 120. I need to get that exact number, but at the moment there are 6 slots that are active and every slot has 80 nodes. So that's 480 nodes that should be active. But at the same time, there are certain wallet addresses that own more than one node. And the last time I checked, there were 300 unique wallet addresses and we have around 145 nodes hosted. So that's close to 45 to 50% of the people actually hosting one single node from a unique wallet address. So I think that's okay. That's a decent number to start with. Yes, Fairkey is asking when will L1X be presented in CMC? And the next one, Too Crispy also mentions that it should be on DEX Tools and DEX Screener. Yeah, I think if this does not show you the level of operational haphazardness that happened a few months ago, nothing else will. But it's important to address this, and Lionel has picked this up now, so we'll make sure that it's done as quickly as possible. But yes, we will push it to these kind of platforms. But again, to understand that we are a layer one, we are not an application, and even by pushing to these kind of places, I don't see a very high correlation to anything that we are currently working on, but we will definitely tick these boxes as well. Okay, so Johnny Casino asks, to clarify, the plan involves meeting the minimum requirements set by the investment firms or venture capital firms to enhance liquidity once 5 to 6 or 5 to 8 projects are on chain. When you mention soaking up liquidity, do you mean that these firms will purchase tokens at a lower price than any previous investors, or they will provide liquidity or funding to the chain as a form of partnership? Okay. Yes. So the growth plan is definitely buying up all the coins from $0 until 10 cents. That's not a, I mean, in a larger scheme of things, that's not a very big dollar value. But we will definitely be making sure that the people we are working with, they go and buy these coins out, so that it gives us a good value to go to the VCs and raise a little money, but mainly for the growth marketing, right? For the visibility marketing side of things. Additionally, how much influence will these kind of VCs have? If you look at it, from the perspective where if these people come in at, I don't know, a certain price like 15 cents or 20 cents, right? They're not going to sell it less than that. And at the same time, we're not going to raise more money from these people, but it's mainly to drive the visibility marketing. The DEX, the marketplace, the protocol, the visibility marketing, we will be doing the co-marketing, we will be doing with these guys. We'll definitely, help out in terms of making sure that we take it to another level, the next step. But the good thing is that we haven't, given out a lot previously. So we will, as a community, we will have control over the price in a way, not them. Vested tokens to the VCs, 100%. Okay. Master Chef. Okay. Okay, so one of the question here is, why are projects currently progressing without an updated scope to audit? According to Kevin, scope 2 pertains to the SDK kit and its development practices, which were rated as highly vulnerable. Okay, so there were 2 audits done. The first one was for the VM, and the second one was done for the development practice, meaning the integrated processes. How does the VM integrate with the consensus? Now, the first one, as it's already available as well out there, it's already there, we have scored pretty well there. On the second one, according to the development practice, the consensus is being continuously updated. It's not as deterministically built as the VM, it's being continuously updated, right? To make sure that we cover up all the gaps. So the development practice includes how well the VM and consensus work together. Now, that is not a security problem. That is an optimization, efficiency problem, right? So we are optimizing the system as much as we can on a regular basis. So that audit report should not be taken as there is a security flaw in the protocol. Okay, this is a good question. We were informed all the coins are locked up on coin generation event, and no coins would be liquid on launch, and only daily cliffed coins could be spent. Okay. However, on the last AMA, Kevin told us that all the 100 plus KOLs received L1X coins, which could be sold, causing an impact on the current price. All right. So just to give you some number, in May, 1 million coins were given out to the for the marketing, including the KOLs, referrals, airdrops, right? And until now, it has definitely gone up, and we will see in the Tokenomics AMA. But I don't blame the KOLs, but I kind of think that they are one of the main reason the price is down today, because the airdrop winners or the KOLs where it was at $0, they got it at zero and they're going to sell it anything above zero is profit for them, right? But the good news is that it's going to end soon, meaning the coins that these people are going to get, it's going to end. And that's the strategy where we are working with someone who will come in and buy the coins out until 10 cents on the market, right? So that's what we want to do right now. And it's going to happen sooner than later. I don't think we misinformed about this, and the pressure that comes out from the community for continuously marketing, right? It has its own repercussions to it as well. The only way, is external community members buying from the other places, or some person coming up and soaking up all the liquidity, or a group of people. Projects are a way for external people to come and buy, while we are talking to other people to come and buy as well. So we are working on both the strategies to get the coins bought up, in the exchanges. Okay, Dharamveer is asking a question here, which is, by August, vested coins in Node NFT would be gradually released. However, to run FVN, we need 25,000 L1X coins in our wallet. So how will the system manage it? So the question is, if you have a Node NFT and you have staked it, basically that means those are 25,000 coins that you got this Node NFT at. Now, what happens over here is, at the moment, the system understands that when you take your Node NFT and you go and host a node, 25,000 coins are valued at that particular NFT price or position. Moving forward, when the people will be able to come in and start vesting their coins, or delegating their coins to these nodes, definitely these numbers will increase. But at this moment, it is an NFT that represents 25,000 coins that you are eligible for. So even if you're gonna get your coins out, right, it's not going to affect that NFT, because we haven't taken up everything. You are eligible for it because you participated in the Experts, Platinum, or whatnot. You didn't buy it. The second one is, NFT tier will cause massive emission of free coins, 2 to 4x. From where will these coins come, as L1X has fixed hard cap? What does the team intend to do when the unsold public sale coins? The NFT tiering system is built to do two things. One is to help us with the marketing, so that we don't double spend on the same user in the future for the other projects. Because one user doing actions on various projects, you don't want to keep giving out coins to the same user, right? And the second one, even if, let's say today you go and buy that NFT at $100, if that is a 2x given to you, that's $200 over a period of 12 months. Now, you are only going to get the L1X coin based on the dollar value, meaning if your daily distribution is, I don't know, maybe 30 cents, right? 30 cents worth of L1X will be going out. We do believe the price of L1X is going to increase, so that less number of coins will be given to these people moving forward. But whatever is raised from this will be going directly into buying the coins on the market, and it will be going towards visibility marketing. So the idea is to buy the coins right now from the market with this raise. The public sale coins, that's a good way to put it up, which is not all the money was raised in public sale. And at this particular moment, we are keeping that coins available for external investors to come in with vesting. Cost to run an FVN is greater than the reward. Kevin mentioned last AMA he was going to review. Yes, we are going to increase it by the end of this month. The exact numbers, we are working on it. But the only caveat over there is that the booster coins which you will be getting on top of what you are already getting will be vested. So and it'll be tied up to how much you keep your nodes running. So we just don't give away the coins initially. Okay, I think the next one is from Langers 70 for Leono. Are there any ETAs of the following? Yeah, Leono, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, so he mentioned distribution of referral bonus for L1X app NFTs. So whoever has raised the tickets, we have already cleared, and most of them were already given before as well. So all the referrals code is sorted. If you still haven't received it, please raise a ticket. We'll look into it as soon as possible because most of the referrals are already cleared. Next one is distribution of reward coins for the L1X app launch event. As far as I remember, all these coins have been given out under the airdrop category. But if you have missed on it, just give us a number and your wallet address, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Next one is issuing the NFT for L1X app launch event input. Inform the team. We will be giving out more updates, and this has a dependency of a new wallet release as well. So just hold on to it, but we'll release it as soon as possible. Transfer to mainnet of the first EVM to non-EVM decentralized transfer. That's again same as previous I mentioned. Being able to see our L1X app NFTs in the L1X app. So the next release that's coming out soon of the NFT tier, Sandra will brief you all about it. So the usernames and L1X app governance NFTs will be available over there. The structure for getting a percentage out of it will be released soon. So stay tuned for it. Full function. Next question is full functionality of the X wallet to match that already provided to MetaMask. I think Kevin has mentioned this before as well. We are progressing as the core, as we are progressing with the core as well. X wallet will be as good as MetaMask, but again, it's going to take its own time because we are focusing on the core and the projects right now. Distribution of L1X app transaction fees to L1X app NFT holders. This will be released out soon. All the details will be given out. The next question we have is updating the node repository so the user's private key is not required. Now, the users, this is actually not possible. You have to add your private key to the node. Of course, there are better ways to handle it. But the private key is used to authenticate and sign transactions. And every node, like you can check with the other blockchains as well, every node uses its private key when they contribute to the network. And that is to identify the node as a legitimate participant. I think that's all from my end, Kevin.
Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, moving on. Thanks for that. Dr. Remy, or Dear Remy, DR, okay, I think it's Dr. Remy. Anyways, when ELN nodes will be available for running? As I mentioned, it'll be towards the end of this quarter. We need to make, so there is a update coming up on the L1X core. There are two updates going out, one after the other. So the first update is we are optimizing the EVM, L1X EVM and L1X VM, where all the projects that are built with us to make sure that the transactions are quick, and even there are certain consensus updates. But the next update going out on FVN is for the block proposer, so the X scoring model. Once we complete that, we'll pick Xtalk nodes up and move towards that, probably towards the end of September. You will be able to host your Xtalk node. Okay, so how many running FVN nodes there are at the moment? 143. If you go to the Explorer right now, you will be able to see a list of all of them. When L1X token staking will be available on FVN nodes, we will finish the first update. Then the block proposer update goes out on the core. With the Xtalk node, we will also attend to the L1X staking on the nodes, because L1X staking is going to happen on both the FVN and Xtalk, right? So along with the Xtalk update, we will do that as well. Okay, when L1X tokens will be available to trade on any tier 1 DEX platform? Of course, it will be available to trade on Zeus DEX the moment it launches, but on the other exchanges, probably once we launch the projects, we will focus on external projects as well. That's when we can start pushing the L1X coins towards that. Okay, the next question is by Kisik Style for Sandra. I think Kisik Style is asking for the difference between the NFT tier system versus the X-Perks Club.
Yeah, so I was going to explain that when explaining the tier system. But so the tier system, basically what it tries to do is create like as a hub to get the rewards for all the marketing activities in the future, but also for all the participation on the ecosystem, right? So X-Perks, all the benefits that they are there, it's not they are forgiven, and smoothly all those perks will transition into the tier system without being touched or modified. However, we don't want to get like different reward systems. So in future versions, the X-Perks will be smoothly merged into the reward system that will come with the tier system. So at that stage, it's still like two separate things, but the purpose is to create like a complete hub of rewards and engagement and participation across the ecosystem.
Just to kind of add to what Sandra was talking about, is that with implementing this new NFT tier system, it really does put the foundation in place for a lot more scalability and growth within the reward system. It allows not only L1X to incentivize people to use different projects, but it also allows other projects to get involved into the NFT system as well. And so, as Sandra has probably said on other calls and on the documentation that she's put out, that there are going to be a lot of opportunities with the projects that are launching this month and next month, that are planned, that are going out, that are already looking to implement this. And so really, moving forward, it does provide a lot of opportunity for that unique incentivization of basically tapping into your data that we've talked about before. So, this is kind of the evolution of everything that we've done over the last year and bringing everything together in a seamless, cohesive experience.
Yep. Okay, thanks for that, Sandra and Corey. Moving on, we've got Dambox. There has to be greater reward to Xperk as the original investors, even priority on timing for things like airdrops, etc. I would like to hear more on the NFT as well. Seems if you are bullish on the L1X price, then you better off not getting NFT. If you're not, then get an NFT with a fixed 4x. It feels a bit of a way to grab some cash now and hope price is greater than 4x to pay the people back. Can team give any assurances this is not the case? one of the double spending on marketing. This is how I like to do things, right? I like to set the fundamentals first so that we don't, we can measure and we can keep pushing for that. So with the NFT tiering system, we want to eliminate double spending on the users when we push for marketing. The other idea is anyone who's got L1X coins, right, or extra L1X coins and wants to use all the projects that are building with us, and at the same time have like a bonus structure in mind, then those NFTs are a good pick for those users. So they can give their L1X coins extra ones, get the NFT and use that. But at the same time, I think taking the ability of your you buying the NFT and using that same money to go and buy back the coins in the market at this particular stage is required, because we do believe the price is going to go up, right? That's why we are sitting here. We do believe that. But at the same time, the demand of it is there right now, right? If I tell you it's going to go up after 1 year, you wouldn't be too happy about it. So the demand is there right now. So while we build the utility and soak up, the coins, on a progressive basis in the future, it solves our purpose at this particular stage. So yeah, that's not the case where we want to take your L1X coins and just give the NFT. Okay, Too Crispy is asking a question. Is BloxOne a separate company or is it owned by the L1X Foundation? The Pipe DAO was announced. Okay, so the first one, it's a separate company. I am the founder of BloxOne. So BloxOne basically, is focused on doing all application related work for L1X. So we have kept that separation over there so that we don't get involved too much in application over the long run. And all the projects are actually working with BloxOne, that are actually building with L1X to get the projects running off the ground. So it's a separate entity. It does not make any profit out of layer 1X. It's if the developers cost $3,000 to $4,000 a month, that's the exact cost BloxOne bills L1X Foundation. And I did that so that this mechanism could be in place for it. Because a lot of the developers are from Asian countries, and we didn't want to get into the rut of L1X Foundation in Switzerland doing agreement with developers in India or any other country, Asian countries. So that's why that company was incorporated to handle these things. Okay, moving on. The Pipe DAO was announced and as a partnership months ago, but nothing after that has been mentioned. I've been reassured in Discord by Superbeans it is still a partnership. Yes, as I mentioned previously, right now we are focusing on a group of projects to be launched. And I think, Leono, Sandra, Cody, and Mike, they all can reaffirm this in terms of the amount of work that goes into just getting one project out, right? That's along with the L1X app and the core. It's crazy level of work that goes in, right? Getting every single bit of it right. So that's why I compartmentalized the number of projects we will be working with in a specific time frame. But yes, Pipe DAO, the partnership is still existing and we will still work with them to do things.
I was just adding there about Pipe DAO as well. They're, as an organization, they're university type projects. In fact, any projects that can actually be quite slow in moving forward. And that's actually one of the things that they've described to us during the discussions, is that they do take time whilst they go through reviews of projects before they release them across. So it's just it's time.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. For the upcoming DEX, won't we need ELN nodes up? Is my understanding right that ELNs are for XTOP cross-chain in this context? Since ELN nodes are not up, the DEX won't launch with interoperability. I think Cody or Mike can say about this, but just to give you an understanding that there are ELN nodes that will be hosted by these projects. And it's not to say that the projects don't need the ELN. ELN nodes are currently available. They are not, as compared to the FPNs, they are not in those numbers, but they are currently available. They work on a decentralized context as well. And the DEX is interoperable. It has multi-chain features within there. So no, it's not just it's built on L1X. It is using Xtalk for its multi-chain features. Okay, Mr. Jason asks, is there any way an alert or email could be sent when a node stops? One of my nodes stopped again today. I will take a look at it. I will speak to the team. I will definitely take a look at this. Okay, when marketing push with big influencers like Paul Barron, Crypto Banter, or Mario Nofu, and when tier 1 exchanges. Again, I completely understand that, and I think let me answer this well, because a lot of the content on Discord or the sentiment is where the technology is there, the marketing is absent, completely absent, right? Nobody knows about us. What's the use case of this? Take an example of Near protocol in 2022, right? Or even before that. Near protocol raised $350 million from Dragonfly Capital and other people when nobody knew about Near protocol. It was about getting the tech right and then pushing for it. In our case, we will push for marketing, but before that, as I mentioned, we need these projects up and running. We need people to go there and see the utility on the DEX, because it's very hard to see utility on the core infrastructure directly, right? So we will get these 4 projects, which also happens to be one of the prerequisite of VC funding. So when we do have these projects, we approach the external community members with the projects. The VC funds see the utility and validation. That is when that kind of fund can come in to push for marketing on a progressive basis as the price keeps increasing. So right now, the objective is get these 4 projects out, increase the price back to 10 cents, go to the VC, get the funding, take it up, take the price a bit up, get more projects, get external users, and repeat the cycle. So we are starting that cycle up, but there are certain things that has to be done before the cycle begins. And I would say right now, it's a good time to go and average out the buy price that you had for private and public sale, right? If it's down, if you want to average it out. But this is a cycle, and it doesn't take a lot to spend some money on marketing and push it, right? But will it sustain? That is the big question. If the price goes up, will it sustain? Now, another thing that comes out is there are delays, right? Yes, there are delays for projects. There are delays for so many things, because as I see it, we don't have the amount of resource that your mind towards a project is right now. For example, Ethereum's beacon chain launch had been delayed for years, right? Any application that you pick in Web3. So what I recommend over here is that if there are delays, we will mention it to you guys. But these delays are not there for no reason. We are making sure that the products that are going out are worthy of external community members as well. That is why we are trying to make sure that the projects are done right, and then the marketing angle is pushed towards it. We tried to push for marketing even before the protocol was out, right? And you see all the coins that have been going out to the people, and that effect is there today. And if we decide to go and do the marketing now and push the coins out there, that effect is going to come back up, and it's never going to we won't be able to recover from it. So there is a hard stop that we need to make, build it to a certain extent, then push for it. Okay. So this is from Stephen. Suggestions to have node activity download CSV or format of your choice. Okay, so you need to monitor the node activity. I only see node issues when I manually scan, or if a message on node Discord says check your nodes. All right. Okay, no problem. I think we can definitely look at it. I mean, there are certain CloudWatch features that are already available on certain hosting sites that you could use for this, but we can integrate this into the current node binaries so that you have some features that you can use. Okay, Skippy, is Zeus a side project from any of the team or devs, or is it an unassociated startup? And if it is, how did you find them? I think, Mike, if you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, the DEX team are actually separate. We've actually got a number of different groups that have come together on the DEX front. We are advising and we're guiding them in that work. I'll give an example of that. Is the scope document that they provided needed a little bit of work to edit it, to put it across into a format that our devs could understand. So we've done a lot of work like that. They've asked us to be involved to a certain level. We're willing to help out, but we won't necessarily be running the DEX. That's for sure. It's pretty simple. We've got there's so many teams out there that want to do things. We've been in contact with a number of them over the last couple of years, and a lot of them wanted us to pay them to not only develop it, but for them to run it. These guys will actually be paying for us to do that. And we've even got a marketplace one coming out as well that will put a front on it for token launches. Cody, do you want to add?
I think with having a lot of different kind of key individuals that have had experience in a lot of different verticals within crypto is going to be key to the success of this thing, especially as it looks to partner with the likes of Shuffle, Amplify, some of our announced project partners. To take the experience to a whole new level is going to be key, and having that diverse knowledge will be paramount moving forward. So yeah, it's been fun working with the team and trying to get this thing pushed out.
Yeah. Holy Anthos over here makes a comment, says, no, the KOL's dumping is directly your fault, Kevin. Acknowledge it like a leader. I have acknowledged it much before. Anything happening to the protocol is my responsibility. Good, bad, I take complete responsibility for it. Okay. So will this new Zeus DEX be available on the mobile devices? I think quite a bit of features maybe, but it's primarily targeted towards the desktop, because when this question came up, when we were discussing with this team at Zeus, I believe that you can't get both the platforms right initially, right? Focus on one. Like, how many people are using Sushi Swap today on their mobile phones, or Balancer on their mobile phones? It's all about getting it right on the desktop, because you don't want to add so much of ingredients in there and make it so complicated that a DeFi user just goes, nah, I'm not going to use it now, right? You want to keep it simple, I think. And the design language of the DEX that I saw when I saw it's pretty clean. It's very neat. I wouldn't have done it that way because I like to complicate design sometimes, but the DEX design is very clean. Like, it's neat. I could use it. I could use it even, I could see everything in one place. So I was happy with it. Okay.
To kind of add to that as well, Kevin, if I was to give recommendation as well, is I would prefer to see from a mobile experience, it be with the wallet, the X wallet, built in, integrated directly into that, so that you don't have to have two different apps to conduct your experience. You just have one, right? Simplicity, right? So maybe we can direct the
Yeah.
DEX team to focus on that with the L1X wallet, right?
Yeah, I think so. And again, there was a company that I was speaking to recently that, they are building a wallet or account abstraction plugin so that you could use, log in with Google and still use, these dApps. Right now, when I was testing the DEX and working on it, one of the thing that I saw that you don't have to select any network. That was good, right? So like you go to balancer.fi and you select, out of the 10 networks, you didn't have to select anything in there. You just start, right? But the only challenge that I feel we have to overcome is, selecting accounts back and forth when you want to do certain things, right? So I think these Web3 challenges are still there. But one of the biggest elimination was just skipping, like if you want to put it into Binance, Avalanche, Polygon, anything, you don't need to select any network. You just do it directly using L1X. Okay, I think the next one is by Skippy for Mike. Where is Zeus DEX getting its funds from to launch, and how will they bring in liquidity to L1X chain without marketing or their own user base or community?
They've actually come up with some very unique ideas for raising liquidity. Now, I think some of that will be released by them, not by us, and it's not not really our position to speak to that. I am aware they've got a number of backers already, and they're working through that. What I do also know is that we've had a number of I've had a number of messages from our community wanting to get involved. Now, initially they were looking at a number of models around an NFT ownership model, a token release, but I think at the moment they're probably focusing more on the liquidity side of it as the biggest area to start with, and those things like the token and things for the exchange will be coming down the track. That's the last word that we've had from them. Cody, is that perfect?
Yep, good. And yeah, so moving on with the NFT tiering system, before Sandra picks it up, we had a brief discussion with the projects. We were on a call with all the projects, and we have come to a decision where we will be postponing the launch of the NFT tiering system, and we will be doing it along or closer to the DEX launch. Because the last thing we want is to go out there and start selling these NFTs without having any other project, right? So we wanted to first demonstrate the utility of the DEX, the other applications that are building with us, and how by using those projects the NFT value will increase. So this time we're not going to make the same mistake again. And I realized it a bit late, but I realized it, and we will launch the NFT tiering system closer to the DEX launch before the end of this month. Yeah, Sandra, if you want to go through the NFT tiering system.
Yeah. Let me see if I can share my screen. Like, I think that it's going to be easier with a Miro walkthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can. Okay. You're able to see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, first, before I dive in a little more to this brief explanation on the tier system, I really want to thank the community members who have been participating in the focus group, all the feedback, all the questions, all the suggestions that you have been given to the team are really appreciated, have been taken under consideration, and this is what it helped to create like the structure that will be released on this first initial version. So we really appreciate all your collaboration, because this is it has been a really good support. Also, the fact that you can be involved also helps like other points of views. So thank you. Also, to adding what Kevin said, so this system, really what we want is to drive this adoption on the L1X core, incentivize everyone to participate across the ecosystem. And what it will help is to create this hub that will incentivize the users through actions and reward them for their performance and participation. So basically, it's designed to get like a perform to get system, meaning that your performance on all the interactions across the L1X ecosystem and the partners building on L1X will influence on how you will earn those NFTs. Also, it's a points-based system. So the points will be awarded for certain activities such as staking, swapping, or other interactions with projects launching in L1X. So depending on the campaigns, there will be certain actions where you will be able to collect those points. Also, it's important to note that the tier system will evolve as the ecosystem grows and the partners get involved. So we will be sure that it remains relevant and effective as per the different campaigns or projects coming on us. So getting more in detail on the different tiers that will be available. So we have these 6 tiers, starting from the pawn, that it's the easy one to get, that it will be free, and there's going to be unlimited. So with that will come certain benefits. Being the most important, let's see if I can make a bit bigger, what do we call multiplier points. So all your actions will have these points integrated. However, depending on the tier that you will be in, it will be multiplied. But it will have more value as you progress through the different tiers. So coming from the pawn, you can get upgraded to the knight, bishop, rook, queen, and king. And each one has this certain price that you can either purchase with L1X or with other crypto, having like a specific rewards that I will talk about like in a sec. You will be able to see all the details on your benefits on the About page. So it will be a knowledge base available for all of you to go and check as many times as you want, and also having direct access on the page that you will be getting these NFTs. So how you can be part of this tier system. So basically there's 3 main ways of access to the tier system. One is going to be the direct entry. So let me make it a bit bigger. So you can be a knight just by owning a username NFT that from the release of the tier system that will be independent from the L1X app NFT. Also by owning an L1X app NFT, you will be directly selected for a Rook NFT. So with this division, it doesn't mean that you will lose any of the rights associated to the L1X app NFT. So from that moment, the L1X app NFT will evolve to the Rook without losing the rights of the Rook, but upgrading to all the benefits that will come with the tier system. With that, we are releasing a module that will be specifically for the users to select the L1X app NFTs that they want to try to mint into a Rook. But if you want to get more Rooks in other wallets, you will be able to transfer those L1X app NFTs to other wallets and mint your Rook. Also, you can keep your L1X app NFT. That doesn't impede you for getting those rights. But bear in mind that the Rook benefits will be coming to it. Also, you will be able to transfer the username NFTs. So saying that, username NFTs, L1X app NFTs will be transferable through wallets. Tier NFTs won't. Also, for Queen and King, people who invested or being part of the early investors, with certain conditions will be also eligible to claim straight away the king or the queen or the king. Another way to access will be by purchasing with L1X or with other crypto. And this will come with certain benefits too. So if you decide to purchase, let's say, a bishop that it has a cost of 100 USD, if you decide to purchase using L1X coins, you will have 2.5 you will get 2.5 times what you purchase. So in that case would be 250 USD in L1X coins. And those will come with a vesting period that in that case would be 18 months. So this table would be available for you to check which is what you are going to get in L1X coins and the period that will be vested. And this will be available on your distributor to go and check your daily rewards being distributed. Another way of accessing, if you don't qualify on the direct entry or you don't want to purchase, it's by performing actions across the L1X app or any of the partners that will be coming on board. So this will be with an initial performance criteria or performance actions that will be required to unlock the next tier. And with all the points that you are getting from the actions and performance across those accesses, you will be able to redeem it to upgrade to the next tier. So you will be using your points to upgrade. Then coming to what are the points, we call it scoring points, so SP. There's going to be several ways to earn those points. So one would be through all these L1X actions. So L1X performance across the L1X app, like swapping, staking, balancer pool, etc. Or partner actions. That could be also as per campaign. We can launch several campaigns with the partners and integrate certain actions with certain points associated. And we have in that release this point structure where each tier, so each action has a base points associated, and each tier has a multiplier as a benefit. And this will give you the tier base points. Those tier base points will be multiplied for the number or the amount of actions that you do. So taking the Rook as example, if you are on a Rook tier and you perform 100 swaps, the base point of a swap it's 12.5. So in that example, as the Rook has multiplier points of 10, you will be having 12,500 SP points. This is also going to come with a table where you will be able to access to that widget and check which is the amount of points that you can redeem as per the actions or points that you have been accumulated. So you will be able to keep track of all your actions and see every moment, like which is the amount of points that you have and how you can redeem it. Also, all the campaigns that will be there for you to redeem your points. And also talking about redeeming your points. So you can use those points, as I said, for upgrade to a higher tier, but also for specific rewards and campaigns. So this will be changing as new campaigns will come out. You will be able to check and every time, like, which are the active campaigns where you will be able to come and redeem your points. Of course, higher tiers will have certain benefits that maybe they don't have to redeem those points because they already have those integrated, like access to whitelist. Maybe a higher tier will have as a benefit direct access to a whitelist, but lower tiers can purchase the access to certain whitelist events, free transactions, merchandise, etc., etc. Yeah, so basically, this L1X tier system will be out soon with this strong foundation functionality, and we want to reward your active participation and commitment to the L1X ecosystem. And as the ecosystem will evolve, the same will do with the tier system, ensuring that it will continue to provide this value and incentivize this engagement.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Sandra. It was pretty good. Okay, so I think we've answered most of the questions that you have. So, so as I mentioned previously, just to summarize, a few things and the strategy moving forward. I will have a specific AMA just to explain on the tokenomics front, and also again at the same time, we want to release these projects by the end of this month, and then focus on the price of the coin, from the growth perspective. And this NFT tiering system, it is not a fluffy utility. It's more to do with the fact where when we do push for the marketing, we have a way to measure what is working, what is not, so that we can apart from, of course, the price of the coin, but even the utility, right? How many users are there, actual users, you'll be able to see. And this actually will help us to make sure that any new upcoming projects that want to build with us, we have more than technology, which are the number of users which the projects require, right? On a new chain like us, the projects do need the users to work with them. Anything else? Mike, Cody, Lionel, Sandra?
No, nothing from me.
Nothing for me. Maybe I'll just shout out that, the NFT tier system, Sandra and I conducted a focus group with about 20 of you guys from the community, which is great to get your feedback and collaboration on it. I appreciate everybody that participated in that. And, we'll try to do some more focus groups in the future. So if you want to be considered for that, I'm just going to throw it out there that we just chose some of the top people that were, basically getting involved in Discord, on Twitter, within the community. And so that's a great way to get invited into these focus groups on future rollouts of different products and services that we'll be doing.
Yeah, and I think finally, I'll just like to shout out again to all the people who like my post on, Twitter. I think James L. Ronak, Super Beans, of course. There's Kratos, there's Kisik Style, Albita, Jake Thompson, AS Yield, Diamond Escobar, MasterChef, Hell to be Shady. I think all these guys, they always go and like in whenever I post things, like they're the first ones to do that. So I appreciate all the support. And I think, I couldn't thank all the supporters and the community enough to be standing V591, of course. Standing with us at this point in time when we need you guys the most, right? Everyone wants to be with you when everything is working well. But these are the times we actually know who are the real people who do not quit and who actually, stand by the technology or the protocol that's going to serve us for the next, until the kingdom comes. But again, thank you everyone, and we will be back soon in the next AMA. Thank you.